We can't wait to get things started. So I'm your host, James Dennis. To my left, my lovely co-host, Hope Solomon.
Hello.
The one, the only. We are so excited to have you here. So for those of you that haven't been around for the last few, months, years, we are doing this every month, and we can't wait to see you each and every month. So exciting things happening here. So you want to actually talk about what we're going to do today?
Absolutely. So let's go through the agenda. Today, we are going to have a very exciting interview. We're not only hearing from one of our own, but two of our very own. And then we will be jumping into an exciting demo. And so that will come from James and I. And then one of you will be walking away with a Yeti cooler, as always. So James.
Yeti cooler.
How?
Did we say Yeti cooler?
Did we
Can
say
you
Yeti
hear us?
cooler?
Are these mics working now?
Check.
Yeti cooler. We mentioned Yeti cooler. So yes,
Yeti cooler.
We can't wait to send you one of these beautiful Yeti coolers. And to do that, you are going to have to play Kahoot with us.
Kahoot.
So for those of you that don't know what Kahoot,
what?
It could be a who. What Kahoot is, we are going to have our very own game show right here in this live stream, and we are going to be having a blast. So, but there are 3 rules ultimately to win Kahoot.
3.
Just like in life, you have to be right, you have to be fast, and ultimately you have to be better than the next person. So, you have to beat the next person or the person next to you. So make sure that you get these answers right, get them correct, and get them faster than the person next to you. So
absolutely.
We are going to send you over some information in just a little bit, but ultimately www.kahoot.it, or download the Kahoot app for those of you that have already done this before. We've already been told that the app is a little faster than the website by 0.00032.
Wow.
Yeah, I just made that up. So we are excited to get things started with the Kahoot. So, but before we get to Kahoot, we're actually going to send it over to our fearless leader, who I believe is over in Studio B, making sure that we are doing our jobs. So, Jake Martin, let's find out exactly what we're going to talk about today.
Good morning, and thank you to James and Hope for getting us going every single month like they always do on the right foot. I'm very excited for this very special edition of The Insider today, and I hope you will join me on this excitement. We're going to have a special guest. You're going to get an opportunity here from Invo Solutions' very own Director of Product, Andrew Buchanan. And the goal for today's interview is to kind of illuminate and maybe share a little bit of what goes on inside here when it comes to software practices with you, either our existing client as an insider or a future client of Invo Solutions. So our goal is to really just kind of unpack the way that we do what we do. So you'll find some of the unique perspectives that Andrew has about process and procedure around product development, how we develop product and release product, kind of that secret sauce, maybe if you will, of what makes Invo Solutions Invo, and really what differentiates us, in my opinion, from others in the industry. And I think you'll really find that to be beneficial. This is one of the number one things that we get asked from any new client is, what are your processes like? How do you release your software? How do you develop your software? Today, it's really to answer those questions, and I think you're going to really enjoy that. In addition to that special interview, today is also all about video banking for us. So the theme, if you will, is, hey, summer is hot, but so is video banking. And we like to have a little bit of fun in what we do, and this is a way we can bring our culture to you, so we're gonna have a good time with that. James and Hope have some awesome things planned to share some of our platform with you today through some show and tell and some demo, and I think you're gonna really enjoy that as well. But I would be remiss if I didn't also remind you that we are quickly coming up on our most exciting annual event at Invo, and that is the Invo Summit. The Invo Summit takes place in September, the 26th through the 28th. We'll be doing a lot of awesome things in Springfield, Missouri, including the very first Invo Invitational Golf Tournament. We've got great speakers lined up. We've got great educational sections lined up. We'll be making a significant number of new product announcements, and you're not going to want to miss that. So I'd encourage you to go to invosolutions.com to find out more and get registered. There are still spots available, but they are shrinking very quick. So we would love to have you join us for that. Hey, and if anything, stick around. Contribute, be involved in the cahoots today, because of course, as always, we'll be giving a Yeti cooler away at the very end of today's special edition of The Insider. So one more time, thanks for being here. It means a lot to us. I hope you're gonna have I know you're gonna have a great time. Not I hope you're gonna have a great time. I know you're gonna have a great time. And let's keep this rocking and rolling by sending it back over to Studio A to James and Hope.
Thank you so much, Jake. We really appreciate that. Summer is hot, and so is video banking. Don't you ever forget that.
Don't you ever forget
Don't you ever forget that. So we are so excited. As Jake mentioned, we are gearing up for the Invo Summit. We can't wait to see you right here in Springfield, Missouri.
Woo!
It's going to be Tuesday through Thursday, the 26th through the 28th, I believe, right?
You
Did
got
I get it right?
You got it.
Tuesday through Thursday. Make sure you remember that right here in Springfield, Missouri. So, I don't know. We're gonna be doing a few things.
It's gonna be so much
have
fun.
Lots of stuff.
Lots of training, speakers. You don't want to miss it. And I've heard that there's also going to be some cahoots.
Really?
Yep, the cahoots. And the prizes are going to be even better than last year. I heard that we're sending someone to the moon, hoping that's you, but
Wow. She wants to send me to the moon. As long as you're not there, I'll be fine with that. Yeah. So.
Speaking of cahoots,
let's get started.
We should get started on one. Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. For those of you that should be able to see the screen right now, our game pin is 3831617. You can also scan that QR code or go out to www.kahoot.it. There we go. We're seeing people come in here, special guests.
And this is how you win the
Matt,
Yeti.
There's two Matts. Wow.
Wow.
8. There we go.
Yes,
Here we go.
We want all the people. This again.
I see a
win
pesky
the Yeti.
person on this screen. Pesky Peluso.
Grumpy old guy. Wow.
There, grumpy old guy.
Number one, Jessica.
Number 1, Jessica.
I like it.
The
The moon.
moon. There we go. All right.
I just think of Despicable Me.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
We're gonna steal the moon.
Oh my goodness. All right,
Oh
we'll
my
give
goodness.
you just a few more seconds to get in here. I haven't seen, where's Barbie and Ken? I can't see Barbie and Ken
Barbie
yet.
and Ken.
Yeah, so.
Who's gonna be Barbie and who's gonna be Ken?
I'm pretty sure we all
next
know
one
who
needs to be
Barbie
Ken.
is.
Let's see it.
I'm pretty sure we all know who Barbie is. So.
Let's see if we have any more.
Yes,
Yes.
all right.
Win the Yeti. Win the Yeti.
I'm looking at the chat here, and Jessica knows that I just couldn't. Has a very special place in my heart right now after visiting them last week. So yes, I couldn't wait. You're welcome. That's all I can say, Jessica.
Okay. What do you think?
Let's get
Are we
this
good to
party
go?
started. Let's go.
Let's get it started. All right, so this first Kahoot, it's going to be all about the Invo Summit because we want you guys there. So,
Did we mention the Invo Summit?
did we mention the Invo Summit? What is the first day of the Invo Summit? I think you emphasized this.
Every day.
Is it Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, or Saturday?
Monday, Tuesday,
Monday,
Wednesday,
Tuesday.
Yeah, I couldn't help it.
I
Sorry.
was going to say, I was trying to find a gift for that.
Yep, you
and
should have.
I should have. It would have been amazing.
All right, so we'll give you just a few more seconds, and then, boom! Who's winning?
It is Tuesday.
Tuesday.
That is
Tuesday
correct.
through Thursday.
Yes, absolutely.
Make sure you're here early Tuesday for golf, because we're
Yes.
going to have an absolute blast on the golf course.
We are.
And we want to make sure that you are there.
We want to see you there.
Special guest is winning with an exclamation point.
All right.
I wonder
All right,
what
all
the
right.
exclamation point means.
Question number 2. Where will the Invo Summit take place? Is that James's basement, Barbie Land, Springfield, Mo, or Smallville, Kansas?
If it's in my basement, I need to know ahead of time because my wife has not agreed to this. So she's gonna make me clean. I guarantee she's gonna make me clean.
Guaranteed.
Yep, no question. So
Probably a good thing though, James.
oh, probably.
It
Land.
is.
Oh wait, no.
Springfield, Mo.
Yep.
Not in Barbie Land.
Not in Barbie Land.
Not with Clark Kent.
Nope. Not
Special
with Clark
guest.
Kent.
Keep in first place.
Wow, good job.
I like
Keep
it.
it going.
I like it. All right, here we go. Last question of this section. Will there be cahoots at the Invo Summit?
Nope.
Oh no. Yes or no?
Yes or no?
Or
no
no
or yes.
or yes. Oh dear.
What were you paying attention were you click happy?
Were you click happy? Were you trying to be fast?
I'm not saying this has already bit somebody today, but Ryan. So yeah.
Ryan. Oh my goodness, people are not click happy.
Ah, very good.
I like it. Yes.
Way to pay attention.
Yes. There will be lots of cahoots
Hope
at
is
the
really
Invo
sneaky
Summit.
about that kind of stuff.
I am. It's very fun.
Yes. So
Gives me a good laugh.
congratulations, special guest. Way to stay in that top seed. Let's see if you can stay there. Make sure that you keep your app or your browser open because there are several more rounds of this. So we want to make sure that you stay up there on the top. So awesome. Well, thank you so much, or congratulations, special guest, for keeping that top spot. We're going to jump right into our interview today. So for those of you that have never met Andrew, you are missing out. So the man, the myth, the legend of the upside down pineapple and all kinds of crazy shirts that we absolutely love.
Yes.
So we are so excited to introduce you to our interview for the day. Jake and Andrew, take it away.
Good morning, insiders. We are so glad that you are here, and I'm especially glad because, man, we have got an episode for you today. This is going to be a extra special edition, or an extra special edition, depending on what part of the United States you're from. We've had a couple of these episodes at this point, but today is going to be unique in that we're inviting someone very important to the team at Invo Solutions, to the Invo Studios, to share with you his wisdom and insight when it comes to product development within our software company. And I'm very excited about this. So first things first, this edition, special edition, something that is important to me, as we continue to expand this platform, this is an opportunity for you as an insider to learn a little bit more, not just from the experts of who's using our technology in the field, but also who is behind that technology. And this is really kind of episode one of a series that we'll have over the next couple of years from those that are influencing just not even just the product of the company, how we do things here at Invo Solutions. We get asked a lot about, how do you guys develop your product? How do you develop your solutions? And in addition to that, how do you take care of your clients? How do you guys establish a culture within the company? How do you do marketing and advertising? We're going to unpack each one of those things over this series, if you will. Today, though, we're focusing specifically on probably the most commonly asked question that we get from potential new clients, which is, how does Invo Solutions develop their products? How do you go about scoping out a new product, a new feature? How do you even decide on what new product you're going to bring to market? And so, the man behind that curtain is going to be joining us today, and I couldn't be more excited about that. So to kick off this series of special editions, I'm fortunate enough to have Andrew Buchanan, Director of Product, joining us today. And now typically what I would do is give a long-winded introduction for our guest, and today I'm going to actually let you hear that directly from him. So this is the official introduction of Andrew Buchanan, Director of Product. Andrew, would you mind to introduce yourself to all the insiders who have not had the fortunate opportunity to meet you yet?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Jake. I really appreciate that short introduction. But I also appreciate the opportunity to come in and introduce myself, talk about how we work, talk about how I work, and talk about how Invo is paving our way to the future. So a little bit about me. I'm from Springfield, Missouri. I've tried many times to get out of this town, but I just keep coming back to it. And now I've laid some really good roots with 2 boys and a wife, and our family is complete and loving life right now. I've got one going into high school and one that's 9, almost 10, and so they keep me running around like crazy. My introduction kind of into my professional life is did not think that I would be in software whatsoever. So really thought that I was going to be sticking into the middle management, the business sector. That's what I went to school for. That's what I thought my path was, and was introduced to software while I was at an insurance company of all places, and has just taken off from there. I'm not the most techie of tech guys. I'm the one that's really excited about tech, but I'm not the one that's going to dig in and actually look at the zeros and ones and stuff like that. But I love getting people together to solve those types of really difficult problems. So.
That's awesome. Yeah. Why don't you share a little bit about your background, and I'll let you get as much in the detail as you would like. And we've had some guests that have come on with us that literally started where a spark hit them in high school. But I think for everyone here to know a little bit about you specifically, share a little bit about your professional career, up back as far as you want to, but then bringing you into the role that you currently have here at Invo.
So yeah, let's go back a little bit ways to when I was first introduced to kind of software development and stuff like that. So my first experience was when I was with an insurance company and I was working as a quality assurance analyst. Okay. Now, quality assurance, it's a key buzzword within the software space, but not a lot of people understand what it is. So basically my job was to test the software in such a way that before it got out to the customers, we were, making sure all the bugs were fixed, all the enhancements were done up to specifications and things like that. And that was actually great. I loved the process of doing that. But as I got further and further into software and understood what it looked like, I realized that there were I was informed that there was 2 kind of paths for how you develop software. One of them was a waterfall path and one of them was an agile path. Agile was somewhat new. It was created in the early 2000s with a way to do how you put together software, how you get requirements, all that kind of stuff. Well, the company that I was working for was strictly a waterfall, where what would happen is requirements would come through from a group and they would get thrown over or thrown down the waterfall to another group. That group would then develop it or, do whatever they needed to do based on the information they got from the first group. And then once they were done, they would throw it down to the other group and so on and so on and so on. And typically the quality assurance analysts were the last person to get it. And we were so far removed, though, from the people at the very beginning that actually created the specifications that we ran into these problems. Like we would get it and we're like, wait a minute, this actually doesn't do what we thought it was going to do. Or halfway through the specs, it was changed by another group or this. And so it was really difficult to actually access and understand the change management system that they had within that process. And so I want to say that for software. Now, waterfall actually works really well in other industries. One of my greatest examples of this is airplanes. We want the waterfall process within airplanes because we want all the specifications done at the beginning. We want all the wings to be the certain size and the engines to be a certain size. We don't want the agile process to be in planes because we want them to be designed well. The way that software works within the agile process is very iterative. We want to change as we go because we want to listen to customers. We want to listen to our developers. We want to listen to our quality assurance analysts. Like if I get into something and I look at specs as a QA and I'm looking at it and say, this doesn't make sense. It's not intuitive. It's not easy to follow. The documentation's not good. We should be able to change it on the fly. And so that started mine about 15, 16 years ago. That's where I started at, where we were developing that. When I was in the waterfall process, we were trying to go to an agile process within that software team that I was on, and it was terrible. Changing from waterfall to agile is very difficult. you think you're doing agile by using certain words or certain techniques, but if you're not wholeheartedly an agile shop, then you still have all these things that creep in from a waterfall perspective that make things difficult. So it was really difficult to do that. It was frustrating at times. We weren't very good. We weren't fast. And that's one of the things that the agile methodology wants us to do, is wants us to be able to break it into small spots or small chunks and then go really fast and work through it.
Sure.
And so I was able to actually move on to another 2 or 3 companies after that, where we were a full agile shop, where everything we did was agile, and everything we did was to the point of everything, every little minute process and breaking down was, hey, we have to fit this into the agile framework. And at the beginning, that was extremely fun. Like, it was like, oh my gosh, we can change anything. We can change everything. Yeah. The problem is we got too far removed from our customers that way, because we were kind of in a vacuum. We were in a box, and we were like, we would, have regularly 2-week, 3-week meetings with customers, but we were changing things so quickly that once we got back to the customer's like, hey, listen, you guys are changing so much stuff. Some of it's good, some of it's bad.
Sure.
And we weren't getting that feedback loop. So here at Invo, I'm trying to get the in-between of that agile. We don't want to be all the way waterfall, but we don't want to be all the way where I call micro agile, where it's like we're doing all these little bitsy things. And that is where my professional career has taken me. So I've been a QA in this. I've been a team lead in this. I was an agile coach for a while. So I was able to look at the process management of agile and how we figure out, hey, what goes first, what goes second. And that's actually what led me to here. Being an agile coach, working through processes with teams on how we manage things, how can we be more efficient? How can we make sure that the thing that we're working on is the most important thing today and not the most important thing tomorrow? How do we manage that? That's what got me here to Invo, where I'm actually able to establish that within our teams now. So making sure that bugs that reported, hey, is this bug a top priority bug, a low priority bug, a mid bug? What is it? Is this enhancement going to help one customer? Is it going to help 15 customers? Those types of conversations is what we're having right now.
Yeah. But let's just talk about your approach to software development, specifically about managing teams. And so the team that you came into was a very high producing team. And we've been very fortunate. I talk about this all the time, in that we have Xers on the team, and most of the time they're like Generation X, and I'm like, no, they all are output at a level that's 2, 3, 4, 5, or even 10x, what a normal individual would be in a certain capacity. So you already had high performers when you came in and took over the team. But I'm curious about your perspectives on managing and leading software development teams. You could share some of your past experience, what your perspectives were coming in here, and maybe even if you're willing to share a little bit about what you would think about the future as we continue to grow in Invo.
Absolutely. So managing people is hard. I don't want to ever. I've talked with people in the past that have said, "Oh, it's just people, that you can mold them to whatever you need to do or something like that." I don't believe. I mean, for me, maybe it's more difficult, but I put a lot of pressure on myself to try to make sure I manage people like people instead of like numbers or resources, stuff like that. My dad was a middle manager for a long time, for 30 plus years. And that's something that he instilled in me as well. Like, people are people first, and then their employees second. So that's something that I try to lead with. I try to lead with grace. I try to lead with that kind of mindset to make sure that I don't treat them just like the computers that they're working on. I treat them like the people that are putting the work in.
Sure.
The second part of that is just within software. So I would hope that most software engineers would agree with me. Software engineers are kind of weird sometimes. They work with machines. They are more interested lots of times in the nuts and bolts of the machines than maybe I am or maybe other people are. And that's perfectly fine. That's their niche, and that's what makes them excel. And I love that about them. I love to see them solve very complicated problems. And so you have to understand that. You have to understand and give freedom. That's one of the things that I've learned so far into it. So when I was a QA, I loved to have the freedom to make my own plan, to then execute my plan, but then also have someone that had my back so that could check up on me and see if my plan was actually good or not. So that's one of the things I really encourage with my team is, hey, I have an idea, or hey, there's maybe a problem, and I want you to come up with a solution. I'm not going to dictate, especially since I'm not the technical expertise in this area. I'm never going to dictate, this is how you need to solve this problem. Now, I'm interested in how they're solving the problem. I'm going to ask questions, and lots of times they're dumb questions, and that's fine. I'm really good at asking dumb questions. And so I want to make sure that they have the freedom to go through that process within their own way. I'm a process guy. I really like process, but when you get into managing the process of a person's creativity, that's way too far. And so I always want to be able to encourage and say, hey, we need this solution. How can we get this done? One of the hard things, though, with software especially, is that no matter what problem you have, there are probably 30 different ways to solve it.
Oh, yeah.
Different languages, different tech, different just ways you can write a component or whatever like that. And so my main job is saying, hey, guys, there's 30 ways you can fix this. 10 of them don't work. Like, let's say they work half the time, but they're kind of brittle. Okay, so now we got 20. 5 of them will take you 5 weeks, like a huge amount of time. But boy, the fix will be awesome. But we don't have that kind of time. So back to what I'm always dealing with process. I'm always trying to prioritize our rate of return. Hey, is this solution going to be the best solution, going to be the best solution for right now, or best solution for in the future? And we always have to manage those expectations. We're kind of in that process right now with some of our current stuff. We're rewriting some of our back-end stuff. A lot of that stuff is stuff that we could push off. Right. But we've made a decision to say, hey, listen, I know it might take 5 or 6 weeks, but we got to do this now, because if we don't, it's going to take us 8 or 9 weeks. If we wait 6 months or we wait a year or something like that. So there's always that process, but making sure that my dev team can tell me and converse with me and say, hey, this is a bad idea or this is a good idea. And then I ask the why. Why is this a good idea? Why is this a bad idea? To get them to lead me to where they need us to go is huge for us in the management space.
Oh, that's good. I'd like to stay there for just a second, if you don't mind, and dive in a little bit deeper. I think one of the things that sticks out the most to me that we have really focused in on is, even at the genesis of an idea or the genesis of a new feature, if you will, something that the team will be working on, going back to your reference there, is scoping out what we're going to do. We have been, I would say, successful at accomplishing everything we've done up until this point. And I think one of the things we've learned as we continue to have requests from clients, requests from even internally at the team, things that we might see in pre-sales, that we're doing a much better job, I would say better than we ever have today, of scoping out whatever that thing is. Talk to me a little bit about your perspectives on proper scope, why scoping is important when it comes to feature or product development, and anything else you'd like to share there.
Absolutely. And it really goes back to the whole waterfall versus agile approach. So scoping within waterfall is done at the very beginning. Before we even write a single line of code, it is done so far in advance, and you have weeks, maybe even months of scoping. In Agile, we don't have that luxury. We want to be able to scope at the last responsible moment, where we say, hey, this is an issue. What is it going to take for us to actually fix that issue? And then we talk about how's the plan to deploy it and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And I think early on when I first started here, we had done a very good job of scoping, but it was scoping for tomorrow. We were scoping today and working on it tomorrow.
Sure.
And as our customer base has increased, as the complexity of our code base has increased, that doesn't make sense anymore. So what we're doing now is we've rewritten kind of how we scope things, where we have a 5-phase scoping process where we get customer feedback. We understand, hey, is this a good business decision for us? And what goes into that is like, hey, does one customer want this? Or does 15 customers want this? Like, that's a huge plus for us, because yes, we value all of our customers and we want to provide something for what they want and what they want for the rate of return. But if we build something that takes us 9 weeks, 10 weeks to build, that we've scoped out, it's great, it's glorious, but then we only have adoption of one, that is not a huge return for us or for the customer base. Like, all of these customers are feeding in what they need. So we're looking for those big bangs. Hey, what can we do that all of these customers need? So we get feedback. That's phase one, is just feedback from customers. So our biz dev team is getting feedback. Our developers and support are getting feedback from, hey, this would be an awesome enhancement request. Can you do this? Can you do that? So we go through phase one. Then phase two is more of a, hey, how can we do this? Can we actually build it? And that's where we bring in the dev team and we talk about what language are we going to do this for? What version are we going to do this for? When do we want to deploy this? How can we do it? Because we do a roadmap. And if things aren't fitting in a roadmap, it's not good for us. Like we can't cram something that's going to take 6 weeks in to a roadmap for a quarter that's already full. That doesn't make any sense. We have to pull things out to put something in. Then phase 3 is the easy part for us, really. We've already scoped it. We've created all of that stuff for it, all the work. Now let's do the work. And that's where the dev team really gets to be creative and really gets to solve these problems for us. In that phase 2 scoping, we're mapping out most of the work for the dev team, but we always know that once we get into something, there's always going to be these little hiccups where it's like, hey, we thought it was going to work like this, but it doesn't. It works like this. And so we make sure and adjust to that. And then phase 4 and 5 is all about deployment. Hey, how can we test this in phase 4? Huge amount of testing is going into our new feature releases. So that way they're clean, they're competent, and they're bug free. We want to make sure that when we send something out to new customers, they're not expecting bugs to be a part of it. They want to expect quality and excellence. And then phase 5 is the easy part. That's the deployment. It's easy on our end. It may be scary sometimes for getting new features and new deployments out to new customers, but that is just the natural process. When I started here, it was very scope today, actually get it out tomorrow. Now we're looking into, hey, scope today, and let's look to the future of when this can actually improve our product.
Yeah, that's really good. That's really good. And I think you're really illuminating, I think, for the insiders that are here, a little bit more about the insight behind the decisions that are made and the processes that you got in place to bring product to them, and also listening, right? So whenever ideas are coming in, and you and I talk about this all the time, we have no shortage of ideas, right? So between pre-sales, internally, what we want to do as a leadership team, and then also what our clients are telling us that they see or that they wanted to do or they identify, which, to be fair, we also talk about that's our best source of R&D, right? But how do we evaluate and make those decisions? I think that process really helps to vet that out. Well, we really started to dive in really deep, even faster than I probably thought we would up front, which I love. But let's kind of pull back for just a second, kind of come back out into the sky and talk a little bit about software development in general. And so I think that one of the things that I know you have visibility to and that we're interested in that maybe some of our clients and prospects aren't really thinking about is, how does software development typically happen? And so what I'm curious if you're willing to share, and if you've got thoughts or feedback on, where do you see the direction of software development going? Is it ever changing? Do you feel like what we've got now is how it's always going to be? So think about strategies, progression within software development, agnostic to industry, not just financial, but just in general. Do you have thoughts or opinions or any insight into that?
Oh, I always have opinions. I would say that software is never going to stop changing. There are already things that I never thought would be possible 5 years ago are here, and things that I never even thought would be talked about now are being talked about for tomorrow. Like it moves so fast, and it's very cliche, but software moves at the speed of light. Like it's hugely volatile all the time.
Yep.
The big thing right now, and I'll go ahead and say it, is AI. AI is a huge buzzword, not within just the financial industry, but like you said, industry agnostic. It's everywhere. And I will give my opinion on this, and this bleeds a little bit through Invo as well, but like AI right now is a buzzword, and it is something that should be, looked at cautiously. I'm excited about it. I think the potential behind AI is absolutely astronomical, but I also believe that the potential for it to go wrong is also there as well. And so I'm always interested in it. I want to see how we can integrate it within our platform, but we're also taking a step back and saying, hey, listen, we need to have some guardrails around this so that we can actually deploy this in a good and safe way. There's ChatGPT is the king right now of what we can do, and it kind of has all the buzz as well. But like, there are options out there, I believe, that are going to be really close in the future that will be a better solution for our customers and for Invo, that will help us do it in a way that will be safe and secure. I think of the industries. I think of this when I think of AI. Think of all the things that, and I'm going to mention a few, in the last few years that have really risen to buzz category and then kind of faded off, like crypto, NFTs, metaverse, et cetera. Like those things all rose up. Everybody thought those are going to be all in. Now they're still here, but they're not to the edge that they were. And so it's always this peak thing with software where it comes in, something makes a huge splash, and then it fades away a little bit. And then you understand more about it. Once it fades away and you understand more about it, I think that's where it really gets real for people. We can actually bolt into something. We can actually do something with this. So we're waiting for that to come down a little bit. Maybe there's other providers. Maybe there's different solutions for that. And we're always looking and we're always investigating for that kind of stuff. The other industry-wide thing, data and cloud are still king, in my opinion. AI is making this big splash, but data and cloud are still the things that drive businesses. Moving, especially the financial industry, moving that to the cloud is still something that every customer we talk with is doing that. It's either on their this year roadmap, 2-year, 3-year roadmap, or whatever. That is something that's still there. And then data. I remember, I don't know, this is going to date me a little bit. I remember 10 years ago, IBM was launching this huge campaign about big data, big data, big data, big data. And even then it was kind of like, what is big data? I don't get it. Now big data is more than just, hey, you can use this. It's like, hey, here are specific ways you can use this. And combining that with cloud, is uber exciting. It's costly as well. We're finding that out a lot within our industry and with our customers, but it's super exciting to be able to pinpoint not only Invo and how we can help out more members and more customers, but helping out our financial institutions and even other industries on like, how can we target what we make to those customers in a good way that gets that rate of return that's huge and get customer interaction up the roof and things like that. We're seeing a lot of benefit from that, which is awesome. And the last thing I'll say is about IT and just software development in general. Organic growth is always better than big bang. That's something that I have found here at Invo. We are growing organically, growing through our customers organically, but growing as a team organically. And the fruits of that are just unimaginable when I see other friends of mine in other firms that blow up. They get huge really fast. The agile methodology kind of lends itself to saying, hey, you can get 25 people in a room tomorrow, and with agile, they can all start working. And I think that's true to a certain extent. But there's always, just like what I was talking about, these big things that come up and they kind of fall down. That's what we're seeing within the industry. Companies that are coming in, they're blowing up, they're getting huge really fast, they're bloated, and then they come down. And that coming down part is the hardest part about that. Here at Invo, we've made a particular strategic decision to be able to say, hey, we're growing organically. We're not going to put all our eggs in one basket. We're not going to blow this thing up and get 35 more developers tomorrow. We're going to grow as we need. And our customers are seeing that because we can support them better. We can build the features that they want better. And we're making sure that we prioritize the right things first.
Believe it or not, we're coming close to the end of our time together. We've talked a lot about your insights, your perspectives, and also illuminating what we're doing here at Invo, right? That we're both a part of. What would you say, though, for you as a person, would be one of the biggest headaches when it comes to software development? And headache maybe isn't the right word. It may be a 4-letter word that we're not going to use on the podcast. I don't know. But what would you say is a frustration for you? And this isn't like calling out something that's broken at Invo, something that you see isn't working well. Just being real with us, with yourself, would you say causes you some of the most frustration or creates a headache in your life?
So one of the biggest benefits, but also the biggest pitfalls of the agile methodology is change. Now, we want to embrace change as much as possible because we believe that when something changes and we can adjust to that, then that's the best path forward. But with that, priority and change are always at each other's throats. So I will set priority. Let's say today, I'll set priority for the next week for our developers or for a product launch or whatever. And I feel great for about 30 minutes because then something comes up, either a request from a client or maybe a request from sales or a request from support or even a request from our dev team. Like even we are even baked into this because we have our own ideas and our own requests. And so as soon as something that seems like a set in sand, then something comes along and changes that. And so we have to readjust. We have to reprioritize what's more important. And we have to go through all those things that I talked about earlier. What's our rate of return? What's our impact? What's our cost? How long is it going to take? Is it going to impact one customer? Is it going to impact 10? Is it just going to be for internal use? Is it going to be for external use? All of those questions swirl around in my head as soon as somebody says, oh yeah, I need you to work on this.
Yeah.
And that is the most frustrating, but it's also the most beneficial part of being an agile shop where we can actually do those pivots and we can actually change. So that's probably a cop-out answer just because it's like what frustrates me the most is actually one of our biggest strengths. But that is something that I have to deal with on a daily timeline. And it's kind of, gets in my crawl sometimes.
So Andrew, thank you so much. Is there anything you'd like to share with the insiders before we wrap up?
I appreciate this opportunity. I appreciate you, the insiders that are watching this.
Yeah.
And I cannot wait to see what Invo does, but also what all of our clients and customers do over the next years and decades and stuff like that. We're going to do great things and big things, and I'm here for all of it.
I think that's fantastic. All right, Andrew, thank you for your time. I'm so grateful that you shared this morning with us. You're so busy that you were able to carve this out. I think it was very beneficial for the insiders. And insiders, if you would like to learn more about Andrew Buchanan, please feel free to engage with him on LinkedIn. He is active on LinkedIn, so go find Andrew Buchanan from Invo Solutions on LinkedIn. Also, if you have not already signed up for the Invo Summit, which he gave a little bit of a plug for the Invo Invitational, the Invo Summit is coming up September 26th through the 28th here in Springfield, Missouri. We will have our first ever golf tournament to kick that off. You'll be hearing a lot more about that over the next several weeks as we build up. But if you'd like to get a chance to meet Andrew in person, he will be there, very involved, talking about what's going on within the product and also what's ahead in that future roadmap as well.
I'll bring my belt.
You better bring that belt. And maybe even those, I didn't think he had some sweet 90s sunglasses too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Can't see through those things at all.
In order for you guys to know if he comes through on that promise or not, you would have to be here for that.
100%.
So, yeah, absolutely have to. So, Andrew, thank you so much.
Thank you, so.
All right. And in the meantime, insiders, we hope you have a great day. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
You know what I just realized? I have never seen this belt.
Oh.
Yeah? For those of you that don't have any clue what belt he's talking about, Andrew actually has like a WWE belt that he is offering to bring to the Invo Invitational. So if you want to hear a little bit more about that, make sure you check out the full version of the podcast. So obviously our interview here is just a sneak peek of that podcast. So you'll be able to access that later this week. So make sure you check out the podcast. It's going to be great. And make sure that you are here for the Invo Invitational because let's face it, any opportunity to play golf on a weekday is a good opportunity. So
the best.
Even Hope is starting to play golf now.
I'm starting to play golf.
Yes.
And I love it. It's so fun.
There's tears. I mean, I was just so proud of her.
Are you so proud?
I'm so proud. So, yes, we are so excited. So make sure that you are here. We are going to jump right into the Kahoot for the interview. So
Woo-hoo!
Let's see if Mr. Special Guest himself can keep that top spot. We are going to jump right in and
make sure you pull up your browser. Make sure you what am I forgetting?
Exactly.
Yep. That too.
Make sure that you have that app open, that browser. Let's get started jumping right into the Insider.
Absolutely. What software development process does Invo follow? Is it Skyfall, Waterfall, Flexible, or Agile?
I kind of like Skyfall. That sounds like a, what's it called?
Sounds
James Bond.
James Bond.
It sounds very James Bondish.
It does. Yes, it is.
Agile. Mobile. All those other, yes.
Isles. Skeeter.
Skeeter
Woo!
is now in the lead.
First place.
Special guest
Good
dropped.
job. All right, here we go. Second question. What is the preferred software release schedule at Invo? Is it iterative, stagnant, sporadic, or once in a blue
Once in a blue moon, we are stagnant or sporadic. Wait, no, that doesn't sound right. Stagnant, no, once in a blue moon. I'm going to go with once in a blue moon. We release things and we get that information to you immediately.
No.
It's iterative.
It is.
It's iterative.
It is. All right, let's see. And everybody was listening because
Yes.
12 people got it right. So
Good job.
great job, everybody. All right, here we go. This is the last question of this section. What color was Andrew's shirt? Was it Invo blue, black, Barbie pink, or purple?
It should have been purple.
It should have been Barbie
If you had
pink.
dressed him, then it would probably be Barbie
pink.
But
Andrew would have been another Ken.
there's only one good answer, and that's Invo blue.
No, it's black.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I see how
He
it
was
is.
wearing a black shirt. For those of you who got it right, great job. Skeeter is holding first
Skeeter.
place.
Wow.
Amazing.
But hey, there's a grumpy old guy that's on
Oh
the
my
rise.
goodness, on the rise.
So let's
Coming
see
up.
if grumpy old guy can make the transition to the top. So,
Absolutely.
well, good luck. Make sure you keep those apps open. Make sure everything stays open. That way you can stay in the hunt. We are going to jump right into our demo. So Hope is going to show us all about what Invo video banking really looks like out on your website, as well as the on the agent side as well. So take it away, Hope.
All right, perfect. Thank you, James. So what you should be seeing is a split screen view. So on that left-hand side, that is the employee view. So this is where all of your employees are going to live if they're able to take any kind of interaction that involves Invo. So whether that is a live video banking call, maybe it's a scheduled call, a chat through our chatbot interaction on your website, or live interaction with your employee. Also texting, which is our newest product. So you can text back and forth with your customers all in one dashboard. So it's awesome. So all of that is on this left-hand column over here.
For those of you that are existing customers, this may be actually a new look to you, because this is our new 4.4 version that came out with text. So if you are interested in upgrading to this, definitely let us know, because we can get this on there as quick as possible.
Do it. Yes.
Hope's all about the upgrade.
All about the upgrade. And then on that right-hand side, this is the customer's view. Will, thankfully, he's a part of our team. He is helping me out with the demo today. But he has already put in all of his information, why he's here, which is to open a new account in English. So this call is only going to go to the desk of the responsible employees.
Responsible employees.
I'm a very
Obviously
responsible
not,
employee.
because it's going to come to you.
It's going to come to me. That's right. So I am here at Invo Financial. I am here to open new accounts. So
responsibly
filled in all of that information, and then he will go ahead and hit create. And then you will see a few things happen. So over there on that left-hand side, a call card has come in. That is alerting the agent that a new call is here. They would receive an audible and a visual notification once that comes in. And then on that right-hand side, that is scrolling marketing and advertising specific to the queue in the language that the customer had just selected.
Those are beautiful ads.
Those are beautiful ads. Those come straight from our website. Great job, Ryan. So I, as the employee, am going to go ahead and answer that call. It's going to give me a visual, hey, to make sure that our video is enabled and our audio. So I will go ahead and hit ready from there. And we are now launching into a video banking interaction with Will, who will appear here shortly. There he is. So I'm just going to mute a few things here. Here we are. Here's our interaction. So as a reminder, left-hand side, that is the employee view. Right-hand side, customer view. So we're just going to show you a few pieces of functionality. If you want to go dive deeper, I'd be more than happy to jump on a demo with you. James would at any point of the day, any time. But we're just going to show 3 pieces here. So the first thing I want to do, I want to ensure that Will is who he says he is. So I'm going to go down here. I'm going to select this button, which is to request a document from the customer. And then you are going to see a QR code pop up. So Will is taking out his smartphone. He is going to his native camera app, scanning that QR code, and then he is going to be able to, or he's being brought to a secure browser where he's able to take a picture of whatever documentation that the employee is requesting. So whether that's his driver's license, bill of sale, whatever it may be, he can take a picture of that, and then it is going to go through 2, not 3, 2 security scans
2.
to ensure that nothing malicious gets to the financial institution.
Is that number important?
No. I mean, yes, it is, of course, but not for Kahoot. All right, so then over here on my side in the call details window, I now have an uploaded document. So I can go ahead and click on that, and I can see that Will believes he is the great Patrick Mahomes from the Kansas City Chiefs. We all know that's not true, but Will is fantastic.
I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it.
Obviously, this is a fake driver's license.
He doesn't have the hair.
He doesn't have.
No.
He could have.
He could have.
Whacked it all off.
Yep.
All right, so from here, I can either download this and place it to a specific file on my machine, or I can copy and paste it, whatever that looks like. So now that I know who he is, I would potentially want him to sign some documentation. So I'm going to go ahead and go to this little pencil. And so we do have integration with multiple electronic signature platforms, whether that's DocuSign, eDocs, Adobe Sign, IMM, whatever it may be, we do have integration with those. And so today I'm showing you DocuSign, but we do have multiple integrations. So I'm just going to grab from one of the templates that Invo Financial is currently utilizing. So I'm just going to go to that new accounts form, select that, and then I'm going to send this over to Will for him to sign. So you will see on the customer side just a fake document pull up for Will to sign. So it's just a PDF that we're going over, but essentially he can continue, look over that document, ensure that I haven't changed anything, but essentially once he is good to go, he can go ahead and hit start and then sign that document from there and then hit finish. I will then receive a notification on my end that that signed document has been submitted to my DocuSign account. The last piece I want to show you is our co-browsing feature. So something unique about our co-browsing feature is that it does not require any downloads or plugins. All I need is the URL. We're just going to take Will out to our website. All you need is the URL. You can plug that in, and then you begin a co-browsing session with the customer. We are both on the same screen. So I am seeing exactly what Will is seeing, and right now I am the one who is currently in control. So Will can write on top of my screen with this green marker, and I'm the one who's controlling it. But essentially I would want to give control over to Will.
That's questionable.
I know, right? But essentially I want to give control over to Will so that maybe we could help him set up online banking or utilize it really however we want. And now he's in control, and I have an orange marker, and I can write all over his screen. But essentially once we are good to go, we've set him up with online banking. I can go ahead and end that co-browsing session from there. Thank you so much, Will, for being a new customer at Invo Financial. I hope you have a great day in that call with Will. And then from there, you will see two things happen. So that survey will pop up, and he can fill it out. It is specific to the language in queue that he had just selected from the very beginning. And then that data is being pulled back into our survey and reporting system found within the dashboard. And then I actually forgot to download that fake driver's license from Will. So I could go in, grab it, because we do not collect customers' information after I hit no. So that is it.
Wow. You crammed all of that into a very
Felt like an auctioneer.
Yeah, you did good. You did good. I'm looking through the comments on YouTube here. Number one, there is a poll going on whether or not you are responsible or not. And so far, you're failing miserably. And then on top of that, apparently, Will looks like Travis Kelce more than he does Patrick Mahomes. It's got to be the hair.
I could see it.
Yeah, I can see that. I absolutely can see it.
It's the hair. I could see that.
All right, well, let's get right back into Kahoot. Let's see if we can't figure out who's going to win this all, because Matt obviously has a streak of
This is it, you guys.
Correct answers in a row. This is it. Come on, finish strong
All
here.
about the demo.
All about the demo.
Here we go. Which e-sign platform does Invo support? Is it DocuSign, Adobe Sign, eDocs, or all of the above and more?
It's got to be C. It's always C.
What would be C on this?
I don't know, but
like, do you go down A, B, C? You know, what do you do?
Yeah, I don't know. It's
a good thought.
Yeah. Let's see here.
It is.
Yes.
All of the above.
All of the above.
We do
and
support
more.
DocuSign, but we also support more than DocuSign.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, here we go. Let's see that leaderboard.
Dun 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 dun. Skeeter is still
holding
in front.
First place.
Let's see. Come on, Jana.
True or false? Invo Look allows you to co-browse your website with customers.
I don't think that's the name.
That's an interesting name right there.
Invo
Look.
Questionable?
What is it gonna be?
I don't think it's called Invo Look. You were sneaky there.
Just don't tell them.
You were
James.
totally sneaky, and I'm calling you out on it.
It is false.
See?
It's
People
Invo
hate you
browse.
now.
Invo co-browse.
People hate you now.
No, it's
Yep.
okay. I always do true. I realize that I'm just,
Yep.
I go with the true, so I'm like, I
People
gotta do
hate
false
you.
for once. All right, this is the last question. Whose fake driver's license did we verify? Was it Will Bruner, Pete Maverick Mitchell, Patrick Mahomes, or Barbie?
I'm going to go with Pete Maverick Mitchell because he's the only one that really counts. Well, I like Will, though.
I was gonna say, what
I was
about
gonna say,
Will?
yeah, I like Will.
Will's great.
But Maverick is just an awesome name.
It was Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick
you guys.
Mahomes.
All right, here we go. Let's see that leaderboard. And in third place, we have
Dun, 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 dun.
April. In second place, we have
Skeeter.
And in first place, we have...
Come on. Jana!
Jana!
Congratulations, Jana. Oh my gosh.
The
There is
confetti.
confetti everywhere. This is why Hope is not responsible, because she likes too
All the
much confetti.
all the sparkles.
Too much confetti.
Bring it
There's
on.
confetti everywhere now. Thank you very much for that. Congratulations, Jana. Make sure that you reach out to us. Actually, we're going to put some information on the screen here in just a minute. Make sure you get with Hope, and we will get your very own Yeti cooler shipped directly to you, and we'll even let you pick out whatever color you want. So exciting to see your name on the top of that leaderboard. I know you've been trying for several months, so awesome job. Well, we are coming to a close very, very quickly. We are going to have some show notes on the screen, so make sure that you take a look at those, connect with Andrew, visit our website. Make sure that you go out there to our YouTube channel and follow us on LinkedIn, because we are going to do this all again next month. So the very first week, I believe, of next month, we are going to have another insider just like this. So we're going to have a blast. In fact, why don't we send you over or let you see some information on next month's insider. Blah, 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 blah.
Words.
Go ahead, roll that beautiful bean footage. I don't know, but we might have to send you to the moon. I don't know what's going on. So we're so excited to have you back here next month. So make sure you get registered. Man, it's been a whirlwind of a day. So there is a link to a survey.
Yes.
Hope, you want to tell us about this survey?
Yes, so obviously we want to hear what you thought of the Insider, but if it is your first time attending the Insider, welcome. Of course, we want to have you back. But if you fill out the first time survey, we will put your name in a drawing to win an Invo Yeti cup.
A Yeti
cup. And we will send it to you.
Did we mention we have stock in Yeti?
Maybe.
We should. We don't.
That's it. Please let us know what you thought of the Insider. Also, if it's your first time, fill out that first time Insider survey as well.
Thank you so much for being here. Until next time, night-night.
Night-night.
Bye.